on Negaim, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Hey, 5th Mishnah in the first chapter of Masechet Negaim. So we're talking about tzaraat, and we said that according to Rabbi Akiva in the last Mishnah, he said, listen, if it falls on Shabbat, then you push it off after Shabbat. And sometimes he said, yesh b'davar lahakel. Sometimes that brings about a kula, leniency, and sometimes ulachmir. So our Mishnah is going to continue and tell you about the next two Mishnayot are going to be Ketzad lahakel and Ketzad lachmir. How could it be? What happens when you push off something from Shabbat? Let's say the day of the B'dikah, the day of examination, falls on Shabbat. And then now it's on, and you push it off into Sunday. So the Mishnah is going to give you basically a bunch of different examples, truthfully confusing examples, of how it is that something is tzaraat and then would not be tzaraat. And basically, we're going to have to learn all the simanim of what tzaraat is and what prevents tzaraat from becoming tamei. So, ketzad lahakel, says the Mishnah. Hayabo se'ar lavan. So in order for something, for a blemish, to have tzaraat, it had to have white hairs. If it has black, it has 2 white hairs. That's very important. If it has black hairs, bad. It's not bad, good actually. It's not tzaraat. So, hayabo se'ar lavan. If on Shabbat it had 2 white hairs, if the Kohen shows up now, you're in trouble. But v'halachlo se'ar lavan, and now Sunday comes, and those white hairs are gone. Lucky you. The Kohen looks at you and goes, no white hairs. You're still where you were, still black hairs. So he can put you, you're not tamei, you're not muchlat. So that's number 1. Hayu levanot, or they were white. V'hishchiru, and they turned black. Or echad levana ve'echad shchora. One of them is white and one of them is black. This is obvious, by the way. V'hishchiru shteim, and both turned black. And therefore now the tzaraat is not mitamei. Lucky you. You would have become tamei if the Kohen showed up yesterday, but it was Shabbat. That's lehakel. Arukot, if they were, let's say, hairs were long enough, and we're going to see in the chapter 4 exactly how long the hairs have to be. Viksiru, they shortened magically. Somehow they got shorter. Or echad aruka ve'echad tzara. One is long, one is short. Viksiru shteyem, and they both got short. Or another case. So now we learned now that the hairs, 2 white hairs, are mitamei. They make it tzaraat if the 2 white hairs are in the tzaraat, in the blemish. But let's say the blemish becomes infiltrated with something else. So, nismach hashchin lishteihem. Let's say you also had shchin, you also had boils. So the boil blows into your white spot, into your tzaraat, into your clear area, into the white area. I don't know, if you're a dermatologist, you've seen all this stuff. Otherwise, the rest of us are like novices. Anyway, so the boil infiltrates into comes next to both of the hairs, or or even one. So it becomes adjacent, so that the hair is adjacent to the shchin, to the boil, and not to the tzaraat. Hikif hashchin lishteihem. If the boil surrounds both of them, or one of them, or chilkan hashchin. Okay, or the shchin divides, you have a little strip of shchin between the 2 hairs that appear in the guy's tzaraat. Okay, or all of these are either shchin or michyat hashchin, or michya is a piece of normal flesh inside the shchin. So the whole thing is shchin, and then you have tzaraat in that, or somehow, or michyat hashchin, you have the live flesh of the shchin, or michva, or a burn, or michyat michva. That's hard to say. Or the live flesh inside the burn. Vehabohak. A bohak, the Kahati says, a bohak is a tzaraat, but it's darker than the darkest tzaraat. It's darker than krum beitzah. So it's white, but it's not white enough. That's a bohak. It's not white enough to become tamei. In all of those cases, a bohak, it comes between the 2 hairs, surrounds the hairs, comes next to it. So therefore, it's not surrounded by tzaraat, it's surrounded by some other blemish. Okay? Or, haita balo michya. We learned, other than hair, if you have your tzaraat, your whiteness, and inside of it is live flesh. So if the Kohen came on Shabbat, you'd be tamei. Michya is mitamei. But now Sunday, it's gone. Or, haita mirubat. It has to be squared. V'naseit agula o aruka. It became elongated or round. Because the michya is only mitamei, if it's square. That's a siman tumah. That's a sign of tumah. Mivutzeret v'naseit min hatzad. Mivutzeret means surrounded. If your michya is surrounded by tzaraat, and then the tzaraat moved over only to the side. Michunesa, the michya has to be a certain size, the size of an adasha, a lentil. Okay, then vinit pazra, and it's spread. Meaning, if the whole thing was the right size and then it's spread, it comes on Sunday. It's wrong. It's spread out. It's not enough in one area. Okay, uva shchin v'nichnas b'tocha. Or another case, the shchin came and entered into your michya. It has to be a straight michya. Now the michya is in shchin, not inside. Now the michya is in shchin and not in the tzaraat itself. I lost my. Here we go. Or hikifa. If the shchin surrounded the michya, chilka, or divided it, o mi'atah hashchin, or it made it small, the shchin made the michya smaller, o michiyat hashchin. It's not a michiyat tzaraat, it's a michiyat shchin. I personally don't know the difference between michiyat shchin and michiyat tzaraat, okay, but nonetheless it's spread. Oh, michya, or the burn, o michiyat michya, or the live flesh of the burn, the habohak, and the lighter tzaraat that's not mitameh. In all of those cases, if that happened, all of these things happened from Shabbat to Sunday, lucky guy. Hayabo pisayon. Let's say you had the tzaraat, and the tzaraat spread. Remember, he put you away, and he marked it. He knew exactly what the size was. And then he comes back a week later, and it spread. So if it spread, you're tamei. But if it had a spread on Shabbat, v'halach lo pisayon, and it comes on Sunday, it's gone. O sha'alcha lo ha'om. Om is like the mother tzaraat, and the pision is the spread. So you have the mother tzaraat and then the baby tzaraat. So you came, you have it spread, but the mother tzaraat is gone. Oshanit matar, or the mother tzaraat got smaller, ma'at got smaller. Ve'en bezeh bezeh grease, and now together you don't have a grease, meaning the size has morphed, but it's not. So now it's no longer large enough to be tamei. Hashchin and b'chiyat hashchin, or the shchin, or the live flesh of the shchin. V'amichveh, the burn, and b'chiyat hamichveh, the flesh of the burn. V'habohak, or the bohak. Cholkim bein ha'om the pision. Now you have something dividing between the mother tzaraat and the pision, the spread. Harei elu hak. In all those cases, the Kohen comes on Sunday and he's like, lucky guy. If I looked at you yesterday, it would have been terrible. But now, no problem. So we learned a ton of different ways that something becomes tamei or not tamei. And there'll be a quiz on this after the Mishnah. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.